Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Living Life at Life U. I am your host, Dr. Veronica Garcia, and today I am joined by a super cool member of the Life University campus, Mr. Nick Pope. Hi, welcome. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me.
It is an honor.
Not first time you've asked, but I finally made it. So,
well, thank you for saying
I
yes.
know.
Thank you for showing up, and thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
So let's shine a light into who Nick Pope is.
So I'm the sports information director here at Life University. Our department consists of me, a grad assistant, and my full-time assistant, Tori. Honestly, they do all the work. I'm just here. We run the campus athletics side, the athletics website, athletics social media, in charge of statting games, writing stories for games, and a whole lot of other less fun things. But I love it. And this is going into my third year next year. So,
nice. So you started a little bit after the giant pandemic.
Yes, I did a year at a school that's in our conference, Thomas University. I was an athletic assistant there, and then I came over here and got offered the job, came over, started mid-season, which was hectic, October of 22, wrapped up last year, then wrapped up this year. So
that's amazing. That's so cool. That's so cool. What got you interested into sports media?
I used to, I think, less known thing about me, I played college soccer at a D3 school, Piedmont University, Piedmont College, switched to university, and did that for about 3 years, then decided, you know what, I want to focus on my career a little bit more. Got more involved with student media, got more involved with the kind of behind the scenes of what actually happens. People don't just show up and play. Someone's got to put that together. And got more involved with that, started broadcasting it, wrote some recaps, did some social media stuff at my D3 school, and then it just grew from there. Like, I don't want to not be involved in athletics, but I can't play anymore. I'm not good enough. So so that's how
for fun.
So that's how I decided, you know what, I'm going to be on the other side of it and stay involved.
So you mentioned people don't just show up and play. Tell me a little bit of what happens in the behind the scenes that allows for tournaments and events to actually happen.
It's pretty complex. It varies per sport. Some sports are more show up and play than others. Basketball is one of the more involved sports we're with. Basketball, lacrosse, our wrestling's kind of more involved. Rugby, for whatever reason, they don't have stats. So we show up, we make sure a stream runs and stuff like that, but we're less involved. But it involves a whole bunch of people, of student workers, me working, my assistant, GA, someone broadcasting, someone turning the camera. So it just depends on the sport, but usually have a statistician, you have a shot clock operator, game clock operator, people showing, where did the visitors go when they get here, that kind of stuff. We're kind of all involved. I work with our assistant ADs, and people don't just show up and play. It's got to be coordinated.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what led you into going from fully athletics into fully just media, and what has been the most gratifying that you found since then?
I guess you mentioned, quickly after the pandemic. So I was supposed to graduate mid-pandemic. Actually, the December pandemic hit, and then all the sports got canceled in the fall season. So then I was like, all right, well, I really need to work this, and no one's hiring. So I picked up a second major and stayed at my university and did, instead of just mass communications, I switched to sports communications. I felt newsroom wasn't me, but athletics was. So I stayed more involved, stayed that extra semester, and was pretty much a full-time employee with them, because every sport, I think we had 18 or 21 sports, were all in season that spring.
Oh my gosh.
We would have stuff every single day of the week. It was a lot of fun. I've joked with, my athletic director here, Jamie, and the assistant AD, Jesse, who I'm actually more with, about how fun it was as a student just to, at that point, I did just show up and, I broadcasted, I turned the camera, and then I'd leave and be a student. But it was so much fun at that point with everyone in season that I was like, I want to do this. I want to figure out how to do this. And then got lucky, went to Thomas, like I said, as a GA, and really from there, it just, I don't know, it just kind of fell into place, and that's how I'm here. So
that's awesome. That's really cool. What would be, if someone is interested but doesn't really know, what would be the first step for them to be involved in sports media?
Especially at a smaller school like we are, and a lot of the smaller NAIA schools, D3 schools where I was, and that's where I wanted to be. I didn't want to do D1. The department can always use help. So I guess, yeah, we could use help. And there's plenty of ways to get involved. We have student workers who, hey, I'm more into photography. We have student workers who, hey, I want to, maybe broadcast, or I want to do other things. Hey, I want to get into graphics and stuff. And it's really about the departments always need the help and can kind of work with you. And then there's other student workers who, I don't know what I want to do. I've played sports my whole life. What do you do? And then from there, I kind of try to figure out what does this one like? What does this one want to do? And you can work in all capacities with athletics. So it's just getting involved and trying to figure out how you want to be involved. Yep.
Trial and error.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
What would be a goal for you within the athletics department as we continue growing and reaching and hiring and just bringing more students and more sports in the system or within Life University? What would be a goal for you and your department right now?
A big thing that we preach each staff meeting we have and stuff like that is, the continued student athlete experience and embracing and trying to make that a better thing. If that's better living situations in the dorms, us having broadcasters for every sport, not just basketball, not just wrestling, but not just rugby, trying to figure out who knows who wants to broadcast soccer, who wants to broadcast lacrosse. So I think kind of all those things go into the student athlete kind of experience of, from my perspective, getting media days, your photos look better, your videos look better, your graphics look better, they look cooler. So those kind of things are really what I think I'm focused on, and just trying to make their experience better by doing those little things and making work that they're proud of that they repost as well. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. I think it's really important because as a former athlete, college athlete, that was one thing that in my school was missing. It was we never had exposure like that. We never had really a team of media that was able to shine a light. We got shine a light once a year when all the universities would meet for an intercollegiate situationship that we did back home in Puerto Rico. But it's also just so beautiful to know that it's an opportunity now, and as media continues to grow and continues to be actually one of the main connection points. Recruiters.
When I got interviewed here, before I got the job, one of the things I was asked about was how do you see yourself? What do you see your job? And I was I want to be a tool to recruit. I want to be a tool to recruit, a tool to brand Life University. More so athletics than this side, as we kind of joked about. But kind of all of that, and that's what I've grown into understanding as well. It's you're not here to be a student. You're not here to be an athlete. You're here to be a student athlete, and trying to really get better at understanding how I can best promote the school in that way as well. Yeah. So.
That's amazing. Well, it sounds like you're doing an amazing job already. You definitely are. Give yourself some credit. You definitely are doing, you're shining a light into all these beautiful individuals that are our student athletes that are turning and learning how to live life in between those two worlds, but also fully in both worlds. So thank you for shining a light into them. Thank you for inspiring them and to guiding those athletes that are I don't know what to do afterwards. Yeah. And that's okay. That's totally okay.
I was that kid. Yeah. Didn't know what I wanted to do. Like I said, the sports kind of ended, and it was well, I got to do something. Yeah. So yeah.
And it's such a. I always have this conversation with athletes. It's such a different experience because that's been your identity. That was my identity as an athlete my whole life. And I'm oh, never mind. I'm going just to school now. I'm who is this Veronica?
Yeah, I know.
Who this Veronica is.
It's a crazy world. And it's overnight. You're training every day to, I don't ever have to train again if I don't want to. So it is weird. But
it's cool. It's so nice. I love that you're still involved in sports and you're involved into just creating spaces for others to be involved in sports as well, whether it is on the field or out of the field. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for just jumping in and coming to this not so small university of Life University and helping those. on the other side of the bridge.
I know.
If you come to campus, you know what we mean.
Mm-hmm.
What we mean. But really, truly bringing them all together and to be more exposed into the whole university and outside. So thank you.
No problem.
Well, have a beautiful rest of your day. Have an awesome end of your quarter.
I will. I will. You as well. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And we'll see you guys in the next episode of Living Life at LifeU. Bye.